This crypto market is preparing millionaires. I'm saying this with brutal honesty. This is preparing a lot of upcoming millionaires. I can say that with a lot of confidence. Why? Just one monthly candle here is now $7,000. You still have a week to go. And that in the crypto market can play a lot of different games. What do I mean? I'm not in Bitcoin, you know that. We're not in BTC. But you do see what I'm talking about. Bitcoin dominance is breaking a trend line on which it has stayed there for almost a year. That's opportunity. That's opportunity for altcoins. If you are focusing on the real stuff, you know what's happening. Yes, for sure. We are all here in the XRP. We all want to see these kind of pop. And we would first look at this and say, like, what the hell is that? Is that a three-wave structure? It looks weird, right? It looks weird, creepy. But that's what this guy usually do. I mean, look at this. The 1, the 2, the 3. It's not the traditional structure. I agree on that. It's kind of, a 90-degree perpendicular run up. But for some reason, this guy does these kind of things. And now, this is a breakdown of the third wave, actually. Now, if you actually clear all of those and break it down onto a macro structure, where you get this three wave, it's still somewhat same. Look at that, right? And even inside that third wave, third leg up, that's what I first showed you. Like, this is not a traditional structure. So the amount of manipulation in this asset is going to be sky high. And as soon as the price pops, it's going to be surprising for a lot of individuals. But in the meantime, you're watching that the market is doing a lot of crazy stuff. Say, ARB is now up 18% for the day, 22% for last week. That's not a big deal. But if you look at this, last month I told you guys, watch, this is going to be a buying opportunity. Just below $1, close to 0.9, it's going to be a great opportunity. Now, at that time, price was at a resistance and we were like, okay, we need to see this coming down and then bounce and break higher. What the hell happened? Almost the same. You got rejected there. You came back down to that 0.9 range. You even wicked down to that exact support, went back up, broke higher. This is what happens in the SI family. And that's why 875 plus members are taking benefit of these calls. And when I say that, you need to understand this few months is going to be life-changing. This just last 30 days. And we're already up 100%. And if you look for the truth, you're like, okay, that's good. But remember, if you have a little bit more patience, it looks like this. That's a 5x and growing quickly. Now it should be 5.3x of the trading bag, which we opened maybe 4 or 5 months back. That's it. We've been averaging down on a lot of 3Ls and they're just starting to pick up. So that portfolio is about to go bonkers soon. Welcome to the Scientific Investor Family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Now, the opportunity, especially in the world, you focus on a lot of different things, but the ROI, it's going to be the biggest in crypto market. And that's one of the reasons why we are focusing on this. If you are here, you should not be missing all of this. The market is showing you a lot of different structures, which you should keep your mind on. Because what I just showed you here is excluding Ether. This is altcoin market excluding Ether. So you're going to see the XRP ecosystem. You're going to see the Polkadot ecosystem. You're going to see a Wax ecosystem. Some of those popping. If you understand what I mean, you're already watching some of them doing those, right? You go on a lot of different tokens. And we've been following some of those. If you actually look at these just for an understanding of how things happen there, and you're looking at Moonbeam, Moonriver, whichever you're focusing on. You're like, okay, this structure looks really decent. On a 3-day, it shows you it's about to break through. And on a daily, it shows you what's happening. A V-shaped recovery kind of a pattern moving out. Bulls are playing a lot of different games. And then you actually look at the market and you're asking like, okay, what's really happening, right? And the main aspect you need to focus on is where the money is moving on to. Yes, this is the macro structure for Bitcoin. It shows you that on a weekly, Bitcoin is trying to create an engulfing candle that's super bullish. So when you come on a monthly, it's ultra bullish, right? It's like the perma bull kind of a statement. But remember, dollar is still down. Stock market is a little bit slow after reaching the all-time highs range. Crypto is running hot. Bitcoin dominance shows you the real story. So each and every time Bitcoin dominance bounced off, you saw Bitcoin gathering a lot of pace and running up, but altcoin kind of followed it, but without not much of a huge momentum. Things are about to change, and things are about to change pretty quickly. If you see this range breaking, there's all the way from last November, so it's already more than a year. That's a perfect thing to watch. After a long year, if you see this breaking through, that's something you need to keep an eye on. Meaning, yeah, for sure, you'll actually see multiple level of supports coming into the structure. You'll actually watch different assets and group of assets popping. So first it's going to be a support here, then you'll see another level of support here. It's going to be a step-by-step thing on a micro, not on a macro. Now, why do I say that? Because each and every time you drop, you do this very quickly. The ABC kind of thing is happening very, very quickly. And now the macro ABC would look like this, right? So you have the macro and the micro within that, breaking it down. So watch for these patterns. It's going to play out, and it's going to play out really quickly. So maybe this 1, 2, 3 is just the micro, and you'll actually see the macro coming off like this. So that can give altcoins a good, decent rally to the upside. Now, what if this break is on a weekly, and this weekly break gives a lot of revival for altcoins? I would say we shouldn't be surprised, because the price actually tried going up, but the RSI kind of showed like, nah, I'm not going in that direction. It went to the downside. 1, 2. It's a weekly chart, and you're trying to plot your trend line. And you're like, I'm getting so close. If I break this to the downside, altcoins are about to run pretty hard. Meaning money is about to flow back into the altcoins. You're going to watch a lot of alts popping. If you look at the market, yes, we are going through this, like multiple trade closures. We're watching how the market is moving. Now, whether it's something which we talked before, whether it's like, something which I already highlighted to you guys, when I open a trade, when I close a trade, you guys actually happen to see where I open, where I skim profit, where I close them. The market is showing you obviously huge signs. A central bank showing green lights to crypto is not a small thing. That's just the end of the year. Early next year is going to be a lot of different big guys, the whales, the financial institutions allocating money. You're going to see a lot of them looking into crypto, at least dipping their toes, which means new money coming in. We are right now about $1.7 trillion. That's not a big market. Even gold is like $12 trillion. You're about to watch this do what the gold does right now, becoming the safe haven. We already know the correlation is looking really great. We already understand on the other end, banking liquidity doesn't look really good. You have trouble on the other side. So yes, payments is going to be a super important thing. Liquidity is going to be a super important discussion. And this is where the cross-border payment and enhancing that field, that segment becomes super important. That's primary reason why we focus on XRP. Yes, it's not the just one asset which is in that field. We understand that, clear. But what we are watching in this asset class is that XRP tend to do magical things. Now, it's been some time since we have done that. So people kind of forgot what it actually feels like. While you can put the argument that, back then you didn't have a lot of market cap, the market cap was smaller, I would say, yeah, it's true. But remember, this zone which you're looking at is kind of near what we are talking about. Yeah, during that time, towards this time, you have a lot more in supply. Every month you get a billion coming in, and like last 1 year, they've been taking it back, 700 to 800 million back. So last 1 year, the dilution was not big. It's a good thing. It's a big thing to understand. Now, from there, when we popped, did we do a small move or did we do a decent big rally? That was a 30x run up. That's not a small thing. And in this market cycle, we're already watching different assets doing those kind of a big moves, right? They're already up decent like this 35x move. That's not a small thing. Market is responding. Market is doing these big things. If you understand what the charts are showing you, now you have a huge advantage in the market. Instead of buying these at the top and getting killed, you can actually run to the assets. If you've been riding them, yeah, you are taking profits. You see the volume kind of surging through the sky and still the price slowing down. So that's kind of an indication for you for, something is happening. We may consolidate here, but remember at this point, a 50% drop from the peak would still look very small. Why? Because your trend line at that point is this. Just coming back to test that trend line would look like this. So what if the price come here, test that, and bounce back up to retest that, and then drop? During this phase, you will see a lot of altcoins popping through the sky. That's exactly what we saw here. So the double top structure is not new for us. We've been watching something like this from a long period of time. Keep your eyes focused on these. Now, not to buy this asset here. That's going to be a super high risk move. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Whereas, you look at assets which has not done those big moves. Remember, if this asset actually breaks through this retest and a bounce comes in so quickly, you'll actually see the different arguments, different measured moves, everything coming back into light. But yeah, for sure, right now the market is trying to look for a lot of different winners. You're watching a lot of different assets trying to go up. On a weekly, you're watching like some of these are about to start something big. Some of them are already in that move. So the attention is not focusing on XRP. And unless it breaks through $1, I don't think there's going to be a huge talk in the market about that. But that's where the opportunity lies. That's where the opportunity is. If you are someone who looks at the market, don't forget the fact that the price action has been clear on this asset. They have not changed. The measured move for you is this. That remains the same. This is a macro support. It's now becoming a resistance here. So that means you do have some around $1.80 to $2 as a resistance, but your measured move is not a small deal here, right? For anyone who has been in XRP and watching this, floating this 13x from that 1.8 to $2 is like a big number for us. That takes us to $30. We are happy at 20. We are happy at 15. That's a different story. But you can actually see how high this can actually go. Price action shows you a lot of different stuff, and it's not that easy to digest all of this and have patience to play that game. Because when you actually measure through these and you're like, okay, that's a 30x move, can we do that? We did a 80. If you take it from the measured move after the break, we did 50. That was bigger than the measured move. But we are not plotting that kind of a move. We're just sticking with the measured move. And even that measured move from the current price looks something like this, a 50x move. And if your average is somewhat like, 0.4, it's a 70x move. If your average is 0.3, it's like an 80x move. This is not small. Say you're conservative. You're not looking at a $30 move. You're looking for $20. That's still is a 60x move. Now, yeah, for sure, it's a large cap asset. You're looking for these. Whereas in small to medium micro cap, there are assets which shows you it can do a 100x. It can do a 200x. Yeah, those are there. But the level of risk involved in that category is super high. If you are new in crypto, yeah, maybe you'll be touching a little bit of that. But if you have been here, these kind of high risk assets are like 5 to 10% of your portfolio. That's it. 90% is real projects with real utility, real product, which is working outside the market. You have real customers using it, right? The way some of these high risk assets, which we called out last time and popped through the roof, now they became more of a utility token. They have real product with real customers. They are expanding. Their marketing is good. So they're not actually going to do 1000x. They would still do 100x. That's a different story. But you can see the micro cap becoming a small cap, the small cap becoming a medium one. So you need to have all these portions in your portfolio, not only the payments, not only the AI, not only the smart contracts, but each of these segments has the macro, the large cap, the small cap, the micro, the medium. If you have your legs on each of those, that gives you a lot of advantage. That's why when we go through the one-on-one session, we actually try to break it down so that I actually know, like, okay, what's your allocation into AI? What's your allocation into payments on different segments of the market? And then we look through each of that segment to see, okay, where are you with the micro cap in that, whether it's the payments, whether it's the smart contracts, whether it's the gaming, different industries, different segments. This is how you properly position yourself for the upcoming run. And if you want to go through that one-on-one session, just like the 877 plus members, we're growing fast. And at this point, I would say, if you want to join them, look at the link in the description below in YouTube and on the bio on Twitter. So guys, if you received value, please do smash that like button for me. That supports the channel a lot. And if you have 5 minutes more, you can look at this channel. I haven't uploaded a video for some time, but all those videos which are there is kind of super motivational if you are looking to develop as an individual. So guys, that's it for today. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.